carve that into him because he's going to be the gatekeeper of the demonic kingdom.
When you're buddies with the devil, what are the things that specifically that the devil's telling you?
False realities, things that you don't have, things that you want, things that you can't get. And one time, the devil was sitting on the passenger seat. And he said, there's a guy on the rooftop, grab him and sacrifice him for me. I tried to drag him into my apartment. I was half demon possessed.
But there was this guy there. The guy.
Yeah, no, real guy, yeah.
What happens to get you out of it?
Christ.
When you hear that someone is a Satanist, you could feel two kinds of shock. The first kind of shock is that someone would worship the devil, and maybe even the deeper shock is that the devil exists at all. I am joined today by someone who worshiped the devil for something like a quarter of a century. That would be John Ramirez. John,
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
John, you are from an area pretty close to where I grew up.
Yes.
I grew up in the burbs, but I spent a lot of time on the weekends and things down in the Bronx, and you are from the Bronx, New York.
Yeah, I'm from Bronx, New York. Actually, I grew up in Twin Parks projects, 183rd and Katrona, and then we were talking about the Pizza Place, the Mario's, and all the good places.
Arthur Avenue.
Arthur Avenue, 187 Arthur, which is the block over. So I was right behind me. We had the Bronx Zoo.
That's right. When you mentioned that,
and Botanical Gardens.
Yes, yeah, of course, it's right there.
Right there.
So I always love that the North Bronx. It's a kind of a different world, you know. When
it's like Riverdale.
That's right.
It's a whole different world.
Exactly. So I'm familiar with where you grew up.
Yes.
I'm familiar with and it's kind of some parts of that area are not so nice, but there's more of a secret part of how you grew up that I'm not familiar with.
Right.
And that is
in the occult. Santeria. Santeria, it's called, Santeria means worship of saints, but that's a sugarcoat name, worship of demons.
Yeah.
So they deal with the nature, they deal with the ocean, rivers, they deal with the mountains, they deal with the cemetery, and they're all demonic forces. So I was initiated at the age of 8 years old, an ex-devil worshiper, because you become a Satanist. A Satanist is like being, compared to being like a young Christian.
Okay.
Because the devil
copies
copies everything.
Or something.
Yeah, something like that. But then you move up the ranks, and then you become a warlock. That's the highest rank for men in the devil worshiping game.
So for people who are not familiar with it, Santeria is this kind of weird...
Dress in white.
It's a syncretic religion where, as you say, there's parts that sound Christian, but it's not really Christian. But they
sugarcoat it to entrap the people, to bring them in. So once you're in, they're basically around the Catholic Church. They're trying to dress it up that way. But the truth, Catholic Church has nothing to do with that. The Catholic Church, Santeria is pure demonic evil, the worship of saints, worship of devils, statues, burning candle, burning incense. And when you get closer to it, animal sacrifices. And then after that, human sacrifices, blood rituals, ceremonies, spells, and so on and so on and so on.
This has been in the news recently that people who engage in voodoo have been accused of killing animals, using
human sacrifice. Also, they do that because they feel when they do human sacrifice, they feel they have the authority and the permission to play God. They can take a life. They're interested in the blood because, Christianity, we are about the blood, right? Christ is blood. Without the blood, there's no forgiveness of sin. So that's what they practice. They counterfeit, they bootleg of what the original is. Christ, the ultimate sacrifice. So the reason they sacrifice animals, because they feel animals could take away the curses, the animals could take away the poverty. They sacrifice animals in place of who they are, and they switch the identities of what I used to be, poor, broken, curse, witchcraft, generational curses. So we sacrifice animal, take our place, I'm free now, which is not true at all.
And of course, animal sacrifice has a lot of currency in pagan religions going back to antiquity, and it's even an idea articulated by the writer René Girard that you have a scapegoat, so you're putting all the sins,
all the sins, and you either sacrifice or let it go into the wilderness.
Yes,
right. But the reality of it is it's not what the true value of what it is. But because people love religion, they relate, whether you're Catholic or Christian, we base on relationship with God. We're not based on religion. But because religion has a form of godliness and people don't know the word of God, they fall into the trap. Because even when we used to trap people in the occult, we will hold hands and say, with God we start, with God we finish. But the person outside saying, "Oh wow, look, they do believe in God." But then, what God are we talking? We talking about the small G,
Right? Like many gods, who
Many
are unclean
gods.
spirits. So I want to go back. You say 8 years old. If
7.5.
7.5.
Because I was playing in the schoolyard in the South Bronx, and the necklace fell from the second heaven, fell on my feet. Principalities run the second heaven, the first heaven, and then the earth, right? So the necklace fell, 7 demonic powers fell on my feet. I grabbed it, I put it in my pocket. I was with a bully. At that age, we were breaking windows. There was a lot of empty lots in the South Bronx, and who could throw the rock the furthest, break the window. And if you had an arm, you could break the window. So the necklace fell. I heard my mom say, "Johnny, come home, come home." But it was a familiar spirit. It wasn't my mom. Too far from too far from my mom to
Well,
yell.
I was even going to ask, when you say you're in the South Bronx, so you're not up by 187th Street.
Later on, yeah. My teenage years, I was up in.
You were up there.
Yeah, up there.
Okay.
My younger years, I grew up on Tremont Avenue.
Okay.
Over by Tremont, Deli Avenue, and those areas, Honeywell, those areas. I grew up in those areas in my younger years.
Okay.
Then my mom and I, we all immigrated to 183rd and Crotona. We lived there for like 20-something years, so the pizza was good. If you can make it in and make it out, because it was like the West Side Story, you know.
Yeah.
The Italians and with the Hispanics. So it was controversial, but when you can go in there and grab a slice of pizza, it was good.
Yeah, I can attest to that. So, okay, you're in the South Bronx. You're in a schoolyard.
Yeah.
And you said a
broken lot.
Yeah.
Broken building, throwing rocks. The necklace falls down, hit the ground. I can hit the ground. I looked down to the ground. My friend didn't see it. It was meant for me. I grabbed the necklace. It was the 7 demonic powers. I put the necklace in my pocket. I told him my mom is calling me. I ran off, went to see my mom was calling me because I heard my mom's voice, familiar spirit. So I ran. When I got to the front of the building, 915 Deli Avenue, I got to the front of the building. I took the necklace out of my pocket. I put it around my neck. And then at age of 8, my mom was taking me to the fortune teller with my aunt, because I came from a family of warlocks and witches from my father's side. Because my father was a warlock and a witch. Also,
in Santeria.
In Santeria, and in spiritualism.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah.
So later on, we was introduced to Palo Mayumbe, which Palo Mayumbe is the highest part of the occult when you sell your soul to the devil.
Okay. So, and Palo Mayumbe is also a Cuban. Are you Cuban?
Yeah. No, I'm Puerto Rican.
You're Puerto Rican. But it's kind of a Santeria. It's similar enough.
Yeah, similar. We all rock the same boat. Santeria. A lot of the Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, South American people, Brazil. All these people we cultivate. We are cultivated into that realm of the spirit of Santeria, spiritualism. Centros mean demon church. Yeah. Which you go and they sit the tables out there by dressing white. We go there, we worship, we pretend we Catholics. Yeah. Because we adopt Catholic culture.
The aesthetic, yeah.
Right, into the religion we're in. And people believe it because they think, hey, Catholics do this. But that's not part of the Catholicism church. Right. They don't worship the devil. Yeah. They worship God. They worship Jesus. So we get into this whole realm of this thing. Then you report. It's like going to Christian. You go to Christian church on Sunday. We'll go to demon church on Sundays. Or we'll go to demon church from 7 in the evening to 5 in the morning.
It's Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning.
Why at that time?
Because during that time, there's different atmospheres and the different atmospheres and environment that happen in the spirit realm as the time goes further into the night. The hierarchies of the demonic world comes out, and you can make ceremonies and rituals and spells and contracts.
People do say nothing good happens after midnight. Yeah. You go out, nothing good is going to happen after midnight. So you were raised in this. So you're mentioning there was this sort of seminal event in a schoolyard with a necklace that falls out of nowhere, it seems. Right. But also it wasn't a seminal event in that you were already raised.
It was upbringing. It was a norm. Okay. From my father's bloodline ritual from Puerto Rico, my aunt adapted the occult religion, because my aunt was 18 at the time when her father was an alcoholic. My grandpa was an alcoholic in the streets of Puerto Rico. She was a backsliding Christian. Yeah. And the witch in the town, they got into an argument, and the witch in the town said, "I'm going to kill you through witchcraft. You will see." Which she did. She killed my grandpa through witchcraft.